Talk That Talk TV, we back again.
Welcome to Talk That Talk Media, where the vibe is live. DJ and Tika are hype, keeping dreams alive. Welcome to Talk That Talk Media, where the vibe is live. DJ and Tika are hype, keeping dreams alive. Bringing you reactions, reviews and slick recaps. Join the conversation, no time for mishaps. Trends will uncover, every beat devoured. With fresh insights and energy will never tire. From pop culture to the latest in the game, dive in with us. You want to stake your claim, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Talk That Talk Media. Welcome to Talk That Talk Media.
What is up, y'all? What is up, TDT crew? It's your girl, EJ.
And it's Tika.
And y'all, we are back with Married at First Sight. We are nearing the end of this whole situation, y'all. And listen, stuff I thought I knew, I just thought that certain people might just make it to the end. I don't think that they're going to. And it's a lot of people that I think are going to backtrack. They're not going to keep their word on moving forward. And the only one that I'm probably the most concerned about is will Megan and Derek move forward, because they got a whole baby in the mix of this whole thing. But the rest of these jokers, it don't look like it's going to work out, Tika. What were your thoughts on this episode?
Girl, they were giving me false hope in the beginning, because I thought, oh, the couples at least the one couple that I thought was going to get close to making it look like somebody started showing their true colors. Somebody was acting like a big ass baby. I don't want to film. Damn, Chad, he worked my entire nerves on these two episodes, y'all. I'm just saying. But I was here for it. Again, the feelings was like, oh, they're gonna make it. And then, honey, when the ish started hitting the fans and the clock started winding down, people are starting to have second thoughts and third, fourth, and fifth thoughts. And it was just like, wow. It was actually a good episode, though. These last two episodes, 11 and 12, they were actually pretty good. Better than what I had expected or what I've been experiencing out of the earlier episodes.
Girl. These folks done worked all of my last nerves. Hell, I think my slides even decided that they was gonna hide. They like, you know what? We done with these, because I can't even find them, girl. But anyway, I guess they'll come up. We already know it's the couples basically. What happened to them? I am intrigued now as to what really happened to these things. They said bye. We done. Anyway, they may pop back up here sooner or later. I'll end up finding them. But basically, when it's all said and done, we're going to talk about these things couple by couple. We can actually start out with Jalen and Josh. I'm going to just use this one right here. You know what? This is my Instagram or whatever you call it, like my social media one. We'll just use this one. But actually, we're gonna start out with Pat and Rhonda. They ain't gonna make it. Just simple as that. She don't want to be with that man, and that man don't want to be with her no more either. She is making him feel less than. Okay, she is making him feel like he can't be himself. And I ain't gonna lie, Rhonda done ran me back and forth, to be honest. Like sometimes I'm like, Rhonda, like you cannot control like every little single aspect. Oh, he's not he's not concerned about what I'm into, you know, like what I'm saying. And I'm just like, shoot, sometimes you say something, somebody think of something else and they say something. Like, I get it to a certain extent, but like at some points I'm just like, what's happening here? Like, what are we doing? And then when homeboy came, Adrian, the supposed to be the homeboy, you just sitting up there co-signing with her. I'm like, Adrian, what are we doing? We're not gonna help our brother. Like, we're gonna
right.
Like, instead, you just like it. And then she go in there crying, talking about, it's just that he got it as soon as, girl, sit down.
Right. Yeah, Rhonda she was too much, EJ. And she, at this point, is not ready to be married to anybody except herself. She does not want, I don't think she really wants she wants the thoughts of a mate, and she's always saying how I want you to be beside me, not behind me, but you're not allowing him to be beside you. And again, when she's giving him this information, when she's talking to him, it's like in the middle of he's either driving or he's doing something, and she's trying to download all of this information to this man's brain, and he clearly don't comprehend like that. And not that there's anything wrong with him, because he's super intelligent, has a heck of a job, but it's just, you talking too damn much, Rhonda. Like, calm down and allow Pat to say what he's feeling. And you're giving Pat that feeling, like EJ was saying, you're giving Pat that feeling that he can't be himself. And he said, at the end, towards the end, he was saying, I promise to be myself. But then she go into snap, crackle, and pop mode. And it's like, okay, so what? Because Adrian got it before Pat got it. Sometimes people don't get it like that. Sometimes people are visual. Sometimes people learn different. Sometimes people understand differently. Sometimes it takes for somebody else to break it down so that this other person can understand. So now you just compared your husband to some stranger, somebody you literally just met. So again, you don't like Pat like that, and you just tolerate him for this whole little experiment.
Girl, because indeed it is an experiment. Yeah, I'm they just not gonna make it, period. I do want to get to the end of this. Like, I do want to get to the end, to the finales, and to get to the conversations, because conversations are to be had. Boy, I tell you, it is a lot going on. But to be fair, I never thought they was gonna make it. So, it is what it is. Josh and Jalen, this is a one that threw a little wrench in, because I thought that there was a potential 50-50 chance that they could make it, but it became clear that Jalen doesn't like Josh after some point, right? After this whole Burning Man situation, Jalen wasn't feeling this at all. She just like, look, and she keeps saying the words, if I don't want you, I don't want you to this. And I'm just thinking to myself, because I have a pro, I have this and a that, I guess I'll say, because it's not really a pro and a con. Because Jalen has the right to feel the way that she feels. Like, this is her life. She can do whatever it is that she chooses to do. But I do just want to point out that sometimes marriage is about give and take. And she was very adamant about this Burning Man thing right from the jump. Like, I'm not going to go camp nowhere, yada, yada, yada. And while I get that, because, I too am not going to go no camp nowhere for 7 days, I do feel like we could have at least explored it in the sense of a compromise, right? Maybe I'll go on the weekend with you, and just to see what it's like. And if I like it, then, maybe this is something we can do potentially at another time. However, Jalen was just like a hard no. But when she was saying something, and the reason why I bring that up, because in her conversation, when she was talking, she was like, maybe we could go do something like, I can't remember exactly what it was, but it sounded like something that Jalen would like to do. But we don't even know if that's what Josh would really like to do. And so that threw me for a loop, because I was like, because it's always going to come down to that at some point, where you're going to want to do something that your husband ain't going to want to do. And he's going to have to compromise with that, right? It's the same thing with this whole Burning Man situation. Like, I get it. Trust me, I do. But there could be a potential compromise, or at least just a let me see, before I'm just going with a completely hard, absolutely no. Because when it turns around and it bites you in the butt, you can't say nothing to him but cool. And that's it. But I don't think they're going to make it either. I think Josh is going to say yes and Jalen's going to say no.
Girl, you got a man that's willing to compromise. Like, this man is willing to actually give up the Burning Man situation. Like, he's willing to give up this festival, because he even said, I don't see myself going to this festival without you. Now, that can be a two-way answer, meaning I don't see me going to this festival without you, because I'm going to go regardless. Or, we not gonna even be together, and I can just go and enjoy it. But he was giving me that he was willing to compromise for me. That's just what I was feeling. And of course she agreed with it, and he was, she was saying, well, maybe we could go to a retreat. You could do the Burning Man 1 year, and then you could go to the retreat 1 year, and we could do a retreat. And because a retreat could consist of music and all these things. But then there was the other thing that Josh was saying, that he thought that he couldn't, at that moment when they initially had that conversation, he couldn't see his life outside of the Burning Man festival. So he thought that he would be kind of losing himself if he were no longer participating in this whole festival. But then he realizes that, once they get their friends together, they get her friends, their friends, they all come together. Once they, have that moment, it's like, oh, okay. So I can have another piece of me, or I can have a life outside of this whole Burning Man festival, and it would include my wife. So I'm still rooting for them. I don't know what their answers are gonna be at the very last second, because that's literally what it boils down to, the very last second. But I want Jalen and Josh to win. I want them to be together. He needs somebody to love. She definitely needs somebody to love. And I don't see her as controlling for me. I'm not saying that's what you said, but I'm saying I don't see her as controlling. I just see her as a woman that knows what she wants. But she's also got to be able to compromise with her husband. It can't always be all about Jalen. So we'll see. I mean, if they do make it, hopefully they'll make the 2 year mark. That's the trouble time, right? Where you got up to 2 years to decide whether or not y'all gonna stick around with it for the long haul. So I don't know. We'll see. I like them together though. I really do.
Girl, I don't know.
I've been waiting for him to snap, EJ. I've been waiting for him to snap. But I haven't seen it. I haven't really seen it, other than the time he told her to shut up and let me talk. But he didn't say it like that. But
pretty much.
Pretty much. But because she was doing too much. She was really doing too much. But yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I still think that he might got. But I ain't gonna call him that no more. But I don't know. I still feel like there's something underlying with him too, but I think that he really wants this to work so badly that he's going to be willing to do whatever in order to make it work. And I think that's going to be where the problem therein lies. And she keeps saying, I don't want you to look back and da-da-da-da-da. She keeps trying to make it about this Burning Man thing, but I really don't think it's about that. I really don't think that at some point, whatever it is that maybe we haven't seen on camera, she don't like this man. She don't. Like, she low-key, like she thought she did, and she's just trying to be, and she seems like a naturally bubbly person who, will just kind of go with the flow. But I don't think she really into him like that. I don't know. Call me crazy, but I really don't think so.
She's doing a whole lot of hugging, kissing, and smooching and hunching and all those things for somebody she don't like. So we'll see. I'm here for it. I want to see the end, EJ. I want to see the end.
It be like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, they got a front for them cameras. Megan and Derek and Megan. Derek got Megan knocked up. I mean, they literally are moving forward with their lives while we're in the process of this. So I think that they will stay together. But there's always that final hour where somebody could change their mind. And if anybody changes their mind, it won't be Derek. It will be Megan because of Derek's answers. And let me explain what I mean by that. It feels like Megan likes Derek. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about all this love stuff. They doing a lot for me right now. But Megan, it feels like she likes him in her own, and I've learned that Megan is just who she is. Like, after meeting her mom and just looking at her for a while, I'm like, oh, okay, this is just who she is. She's kind of condescending. She's kind of like, she's just these things, and like, it's just her personality. And it's like, it feels like she's being kind of stuck up and but she's just really not. This is just really who she is. And it's just one of those things that you kind of just have to, like, you have to learn her sense of humor. She has like a dry sense of humor, all these type of things. Do she get moody? Absolutely. But through and through, I think that Megan really likes Derek, right? But I think that Derek is looking at this like, we gotta do this now, because what does Derek want? The family, the baby, the this. And now he already has the wife, because technically they're married, and now she's pregnant, so now he has the kid, and his answers feel obligational. Unlike, oh, when I get to that heifer. Okay, his answers feel obligational, not I want this. And I think if he doesn't change that language, if he don't say something, Megan is just gonna be like, shoot, like, because we can raise a baby apart. I mean, she literally said it, like, we don't have to be together to raise a baby. And if he doesn't change up his wording, because I'm not doubting his care or love, I'm doubting what he's presenting, right? What he's presenting is, it feels like it's all about the baby and her being pregnant, and like, I have to do, like, that's what it feels like. I could be wrong. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I get what you're saying, EJ. But he just want his 3 babies. And that's his magic number, 3 babies. And she was like, okay, well, what I hope. And then he asked her something like, I hope, or what are you hoping for it to be? And she was like, I hope it's twins, so we can just go ahead and knock them 2 out. And then, so it's almost as if his biggest thing has just been, he want 3 babies. He been dead set on wanting 3 babies. And her biggest fight had been, well, I don't know, because of the pain. Like, that had been her biggest fight. And now it's almost as if she's kind of like willing to kind of compromise a little bit. We saw it where they babysat the 3 kids, but then the Megan came, and it was hilarious because them kids was literally running them. But that's what 3 boys would do, and they're close in age. But I like how she was like, talking about how the kids were sticky. Like, yeah. And he was like, yeah, boys are going to be sticky. Kids are going to be sticky. That's just what they do. And so I don't know if that's her sense of humor, or if that was her being her. I hope that he can fix his wording and not make it all about just the babies. But to me, I feel like he likes her. He likes her enough to love her. And I feel the same way about her, because in the beginning, she kind of like had a bit of a wall up. But then as it went along, she kind of started letting the wall down. And then, now we see where she's revealed to her mom and her dad that, they're pregnant. And initially, mom was like, girl, I know you're trying to trick me. Like, I thought that was funny. She was like, I know you're trying to trick me. This isn't real. And the daddy was like, are you saying you're pregnant? Like, for the most part, daddy was clued in, as where mama was clueless. And she thought that because Megan has a jokester side to her. And we saw that Megan did have her and Derek had a jokester side when they went on the retreat, the couples retreat, and pranked everybody in the freaking house. So, she does, EJ, like you said, she has a dry sense of humor. And hopefully Derek will be able to get out of the mindset of it being about the babies. I think he likes her, though. I really think he does like her enough to stay in this marriage. Now, again, like you said, will she like him enough to stay in? That's debatable. That's the question. That's the biggest question. But I feel like they're gonna stick together. But I could be wrong, but we're gonna see. But I feel like they could. I'm so 50-50, but I feel like they could stick together, though. I feel like they could work.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I like, at first I didn't think they was gonna work at all, but I do think that they could. But again, like, my only concern is she's gonna think that he is not wanting her. He's staying out of obligation. It's only because of how he said it. So I feel like they would stay together, because they really are making plans to be together. Like, they're like literally moving forward with everything. So, I mean, hopefully it works out for them, Listen,
moving in, cleaning up, making space. And then when he said that about those 3 babies, he was like, oh, I need a new house. I need a bigger house. He was like, oh, a bigger house? Because her house is already big. But hey, I get it. Hey, girl, got to get what you got to get. These 2, oh my God. You should have saved them for last. Them two right there. Oh my God. But
you know
yeah.
what? They a whole conversation. Let's just save them for last.
Okay.
Chad and Belinda. Let's talk about Chad and Belinda. I know that you and I see Chad so different on different. Like I think you see Chad the way Belinda sees Chad. But here's my take on it. Belinda, and this is what she's been given to me from the jump. Belinda gives me, I have been in a relationship where where it's always chaos. And I don't want to be in chaos and I want to be in kumbaya. And I want to think that the world is like, there's never going to be any type of chaos. And I don't want to have any drama. I just want to be drama free. So even if something does bother me, I'm not going to say that it bothers me. Like even if the waitress does bring me the wrong drink 3 times in a row, oh, it's okay. Because I don't want any drama. Whereas Chad is going to be like, look, can you please take these drinks back because you bringing us the wrong drink? We need this what my lady ordered and she gonna need to get the right drink. Like Chad is gonna be like, let me set this straight right now and get this right drink over here. Whereas Liz like, no, it's okay, Chad. It's okay. Don't worry about it. It's not that big of a deal. But the thing is that things are a deal, because if you continue to fester and hold things in and think that stuff is always going to be kumbaya, that's not realistic. You cannot take your previous stuff and bring it over into your current stuff. I get it. Like, trust me, I get that people just want peace and they want harmony. But when I went back and looked at that scene where Chad is telling the person who's trying to get him to say his words, when he's trying to get it out and he's fumbling over his words and they're really trying to produce and get him to say the words, and he's like, look, just let me get it out. We're trying to have a conversation. I didn't see it as harsh. I mean, I felt like his tone was his tone because that's the tone that he takes even when he's happy. It never changed to me. He was just trying to tell them like, shit, stay out of our business. Also, I take Chad as someone who is over his own stuff, which means that he more than likely in his career, he's probably the boss, right? And that he's used to being in charge of his life. This is a whole new scenario to him where he's having to fit other people's stuff into his stuff, and then he's having to accommodate them by making all of these changes. I ain't gonna lie, Chad, I'd be mad too if y'all gonna change stuff in the final hour and I got and I got stuff to do, and then you done change stuff in the final hour, whereas Belinda's like, oh, it's okay with me. Belinda, like, everything is not gonna be okay. It's not gonna be kumbaya. And stop trying to get advice from Jalen, no, okay? Like, stop it. That was irritating me, but I just don't think these two are going to make it because of that, because she doesn't want any type of friction and she believes that really exists. I don't think that exists, in my opinion. I think there's always going to be conflict. It doesn't have to be chaotic, but there are going to be times when you're going to have to send the freaking food back. Like, stop getting my order wrong. Like, not, it's okay. Oh gosh, come on.
It's you good. You just had the woo sale, y'all. But I mean, from Belinda's perspective, she don't want the confrontation. So if you know that she's not a confrontational person, why do you keep giving this energy around her? This lady clearly has been in a volatile relationship where it has made her afraid. So if she has expressed that to you, why are you still being confrontational? Take it to the side. There's a way that Chad could have relayed some of this information, and then on top of that, now Chad is lying, which is why they pretty much aren't going to make it, because he's making up scenarios, making it seem as if Jalen and Josh are having a problem with the whole adapting to this whole filming and all of this. Okay, I understand there are going to be changes in the schedule, and the people said that, but bruh, you signed up for this. This is TV. Like, you literally signed up. These people are going to follow you. They're going to, schedules might change. You've been in the military, Chad. You should be accustomed to change. Things are not the same every single day in the military. You work for the freaking government. Things are not the same in the government. So what are you getting on this freaking show acting like a big behind baby? And then I'm going off on Chad, y'all. I'm sorry. And then he knows he doesn't like a freaking dog sleeping in the bed with him. I understand that. I get that. say that. Don't just say I have a problem with whatever little small problem, when in actuality, hell, I can't sleep with a dog in the bed with me. So it's like, okay, you sleeping in the bed with the dog, I'm gonna go out here on the couch and I'm gonna wind down the way I need to wind down. So it's a two-way street, because Belinda could have kicked the damn dog out the bed. Like, that's so, why people sleep with their dogs in their beds when I just, never mind. I have Peter and everybody else coming for my neck. I'm just saying, they both could have communicated the things that they didn't like, but I think her biggest problem with Chad was it's not what he said, it was how he said it. And that put a little fear in her, because if he can go off like this, how much further can he go? So that's my thought on why. And then at this point, he's lying about stuff. Like, why bring Jalen and Josh into y'all conversation? Like, because she was like, I could get Jalen on the phone right now and confirm that you basically aren't telling me the truth. So now why are you lying, Chad? Like, what was your point? You wanted her to migrate over to your side of the, and what do you think, EJ? Do you think as far as, because he doesn't want to film, he included in the text message that basically she and I weren't going to be filming, but Belinda's like, don't include me in that. Like, I don't have a problem with filming. You're the one that has the problem with the filming and the changing and all of that other stuff. So how do you feel about him putting her in that conversation?
Well, sure, we are one now, so it is a we when it comes to, like, we are together. Again, this is Belinda just not wanting conflict. This has nothing to do with the actual thing. No, I don't want conflict. I don't want them to think this. They had, and then she go talk to Jalen. They put us together like that. The show, like, you guys wouldn't even be together if it wasn't for the show. Do you think everything that this show does is accurate or right? Like, while I get that this is television and that stuff is going to change, like, I'm okay with that. Like, I understand that. And I do believe that Chad has to realize that and understand that as well. But my thing is like, when are these changes happening? Are you doing this in the 9th hour? Are you doing this in the final hour when this man got meetings and all this type of stuff, and then he has to change his schedule? That's what it sounded like to me. And it sounded to me like he was venting to his wife. It didn't sound like he was never putting anything towards her. Girl, the way I be in there venting to about my doggone job all the time, and the way I be raising my voice about these people, like come on. Like, I just felt like a man was venting about some stuff that, like, about his, like, they can't be doing da. I just feel like that's all it was. But because of what we learned later with her, that's where the issue lies. The issue lies because she is traumatized. And so anything that sounds like conflict or sounds mean, even though we could clearly say it was nothing towards her, he was literally talking about production. He wasn't talking about her in any way, form, or fashion. And I said, Lord have mercy, Belinda, girl. Maybe you need to heal first before we start trying to jump in a relationship, because if I can't vent to you about my day and it feels, like, if I can't come to you and be like, oh, this happened, and you feel like it's like just not peaceful anymore, girl, what we gonna do? Where I'm gonna put this outlet at? I mean, like, what's gonna happen? So while I understood both sides of it, my thing is that I felt like this was definitely like a overreaction on Belinda's side, but only because of her trauma, not because I think this is who she is. I think that the trauma has her in this space of now, like, okay, everything is nope. I'm not dealing with no type of confrontation. And I just think that's unrealistic to think that, because I really, and Chad also has a very heavy voice and a very matter-of-fact demeanor. That may not be the person for her. Somebody, even though they're talking and they're saying kind things, he still sounds rough. You know what I'm saying? So that might not be the person for her. I just don't want to give Chad such a bad rap, because I didn't see what she was seeing. But like I said, I get where she's coming from, because she's coming from trauma, not from just a regular space of it. But I honestly, they ain't gonna make it, girl. They done.
No, they're done.
They
She
done.
walked out. He walked out. He left. Spent the night at his place. She left the next time. Went and spent the night at her. Like they was just out. So I mean, all they can say is they tried. Do they get paid per episode or per like the filming? Because maybe I'm not saying this about the money for Belinda, but she's like, hell, this is because that's what Jayla was telling it. Like, this is this is a platform. You can use this platform for X, Y, and Z. And so I don't know. Maybe it's. I mean, she seems like she's already pretty fairly, well off. But hell, who can't use some more money? So
It says they do not get a salary. It
oh
says
wow,
they may get like a per day allowance, but they do
like
not
per
actually
diem.
get like but they do not
Okay.
actually get a salary. That I'm telling you, that girl is traumatized. That's what
Yeah,
it is.
I can see that though, and that's why I said it's not what you say is. It's not what he said, is how he said it. So
She is completely traumatized, and he seemed like he got the type of job that might just have that type of energy where you got to let it all out and vent it all out, and she ain't gonna be here for none of that, bro. They got to go. And then one more thing, as far as the Jalen thing is concerned, I honestly don't know if Chad is lying or not, because he didn't say that he talked to Jalen. He said that he talked to Josh. We never once asked Josh. Jalen don't know everything that Josh. She didn't even know Josh was still following old girl on Instagram. Like, and she said that as matter of fact, like I was there. Ma'am, come on, like stop playing with me right now. Like, because at first I didn't know if it was a text message or a conversation. To me, it sounded like he meant conversation, but then something about a text message happened. But I think he was talking about an actual conversation. And I don't know if that conversation happened or not. I don't want to say he lying or not. I don't know what that man is at this point, but I can't take Jalen's word because Jalen you didn't even know your man was on Instagram. So stop playing. Until she knows some stuff, get back at me because he probably still following whoever that is. Okay, we got to go back because
your
we
favorite
missed a couple. Yeah, we missed a couple. Shit, where we started with this one? Okay, Brittany and Will. Ooh, I'm gonna let you start. I don't know where to start with Brittany and Will. It's so much. Let me say this though. I was rooting for them in the end. Like I really was. Like I was literally just rooting for them to just find a way to bring it back together and somehow win. But that is not what happened at all. Will said, you know what? I'm a tap. They let Will go have that night to himself, and Will done got on the phone with somebody like, bro, nah, you don't want to do that. She gonna be too needy, yada yada yada. I just think that Will needs somebody who is just like him, like who isn't feeling need. He can't have a person who wears his mom even says like he doesn't wear his emotions on his sleeve. You never know what's going on with him. Like you won't know. And for somebody like Brittany, who is all about feelings, you know what I'm saying, who is very emotional, when she made that one statement, Tika, I said, girl, you just lost that man. I literally said that. I knew it. Like I knew it right then. I was like, oh, we might be cooking with grease. I said, oh, nope, that's it. It's over. And then I was like, got to the end, and I was like, see, I knew that's where I just felt it. I said, Brittany, no. Like, Brittany, you cannot tell people, okay, this is I think you might know the part that I'm talking about. They're on the catamaran and they're having a romantic dinner, and she brings back up the question again. And he says what he feels, right? And then she says, I think we have two different definitions of love. Where here's the thing is that people do have different definitions of love. Like that's just a very true statement. My definition of what love may look like is going to be different from the way a definition of love that yours looks like, because we all are like to be loved differently. Brittany likes to use all the words and the affirmations, and she likes she needs the words and she needs to hear it. She needs these reinforcements, or what do you call it? You know what I'm talking about. She needs that, right? Whereas Will doesn't necessarily need all the affirmations and for you to reaffirm is what I'm trying for. Doesn't need for you to reaffirm him and stuff like that. Right? If you're doing things for him, if you're showing him like those things to him are just those are good enough, right? The actions behind everything. He feels like, I mean, because I think it's because he can see it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can see it, and Will seems very analytical. Like, if I can't see it, it don't exist. So I think that's where the problem in lies. When Brittany goes on to say that basically that his way just wasn't that. I ain't saying she said that it wasn't, but that's how I took it. She basically said, "Well, you lying, and you don't know what love is." But Brittany, no, you cannot say that to somebody and then in the same turn think that y'all are about to be together. Because from where I'm sitting, we've kind of hashed this out already, Tika. This is who Will is. And if he's making an effort and he's trying, then okay, yes, he should be able to use his words. He's an adult, yada, yada, yada. I'm not taking that away. I feel like if you make an effort, though, like if somebody makes an effort, then that shows that they care because they're trying to make an effort and come out of their comfort zone. If this man mama tell you that this man don't do that, then girl, that she done been with that man his whole entire life. Listen, Brittany, listen. If this is the man that you truly want to be with, if you wanted to really take it to that next level and be with him, you got to meet in the middle. It can't all be about what Brittany need and what Brittany want. We got to meet in the middle because Will is not going to be able to change in a month. This man done been like this his whole 31 years of life.
Yep.
And after 25, you ain't really changing people too much. That's just on people. Like, you ain't really changing people too much after 25, especially if it's a woman. I would say maybe a man after maybe 29, 30, somewhere around there. After that, it's a wrap. People gonna be who they are. So if he's making baby steps to say, okay, I'm gonna try, then let's let that play out, because he's not beating you upside the head. He's not talking rough to you. Every time he turn around, he pulling you into him. Every time we turn around, he's hugging you, he's kissing you, he's doing all these things. He's showing you affection. He's showing you. Just because he's not saying it. Oh God, she's pissed me off. Go ahead, Tika. She just pissed me off again.
Yeah. She's not allowing him to express himself the best way that he knows how. He feels like if he does express himself, she's gonna have a whole different reaction. She's gonna run off crying, all of the things that Brittany is known for doing since they've been experimenting and trying to figure out whether or not they belong with each other. It's unfortunate because Will, he seems like a good guy. He seems like he's willing, to give her, whatever, but he's just not expressive. And like you said, EJ, his mama said it. You won't know all the time or half the time what he's actually thinking. And that doesn't mean that he's mad or he's angry, or I'm sure at some point, if you piss him off enough, he'll let you know. But for the most part, he's fine. For me, it was like, if he's not reacting in a negative way, then he's fine. He's showing, like you said, the act of touch, the love language of touch. He's giving her all of those things. He may not be affirming every single thing, just like the whole house situation. What you want him to do? Oh, good job. You have your own house. Oh, good job. The house looks clean. Oh, good job. Like that man don't have that. I don't think he has the capacity to react like that, or to give that. I don't know what he was taught in the home. I don't know if his mama affirmed every single thing that he did. I don't know if whoever he was raised by affirmed everything he did, which is why he doesn't know how to affirm. He is analytical. He'll probably Google. If you tell him the sky is purple today, and for a fact that the sky is purple, he's probably gonna go and look outside to see if the sky is really purple, and then he's gonna come back and confirm it. That's just who he is. And unfortunately, Brittany I'm sure there's somebody out there for Brittany, but Will is just not the one. I hated for him. I mean, I had hopes, and I thought towards the end, I was like, oh, they're gonna make it, they're gonna make it. And then next thing you know, he made that phone call to whomever, and she got the same phone call. She got a call from him. Was like, I'm gonna say no. He told her, I'm gonna say no. Like the F's gonna be no. I hope that wasn't him being sarcastic and playing around, because bro, that is not the time to play around. But yeah, she was like in her feelings, but you did it. You ran your mouth a little too much. You said a little too much. You didn't allow this man to be and to exist the way that he knows how to exist. You know, he goes off to work, he does what he has to do, he comes back, he shows you affection, he takes you out, does some things with you, and you just, it's like as if that was never good enough. So, you know, sorry to Brittany and Will, but I don't see them making it. If they do, it's gonna be a whole switcheroo on all of us. But so far,
yeah, nope. That was crazy. Like I said, I don't know. At the end of the day, and I'm not blaming Brittany either. Like, I'm not blaming either of them. I just think they're not compatible. Like, I just think that they just don't. They're just not compatible. And because I want to make it clear that I'm not blaming Brittany, because so many times on these shows, like, Black women get such a hard time on these types of shows. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to ever add to that. All I'm saying is that if Brittany truly wanted this to work, there is a give and a take that comes with marriage and relationships in general. And I feel like if someone is giving you and they're trying, because at the end of the day, a person that doesn't care about you won't try. They won't try to change anything. They are who they are, and they just gonna be that. But a person that really cares about you, if you say, hey, EJ, I don't like it when you say this to me, then if I really care about you, then I'm probably going to try to remember not to say that to you, because you don't like it when I say that to you. But to try to get someone to completely change in this short of a time period, I just don't think that it's going to happen. I don't even think it's realistic for a person to change that drastically. I think that whoever ends up with Will has to accept Will for who he is and know how he's going to give love, and know that he may not respond emotionally every single time. Do I think that he has to learn to be more vulnerable and more emotional? And if he wants a relationship, hell yeah, because women are emotional creatures. I mean, it is what it is. Most of us are. But I do think there's somebody out there for Will who will get that, and who may even bring that out of him. Brittany may just not be the person that's going to bring that out of him, because it seems as if she's trying to force it. And that, I don't know. I think that shit that made my head hurt. I don't know.
I just think they should have given everybody a life coach before or some type of therapy before they got into these things. Like, I know they go through the whole process of, oh yeah, they can match. Now y'all need to give these people therapy before. Like, yeah, they may have said, oh yeah, I've been to a therapist before and I think I'm completely ready. No, we need to give you an actual evaluation, a couple of weeks of therapy, since y'all investing all this money on sending them on trips. And why is there no group therapy? Why is there no, you taking advice from somebody who's in the same situation? Like, make it make sense. Where's the therapist? I know they come here and there, but like, they should have been in therapy before they even hopped on this show. And you know, I don't know. I hate it. I hate that, you know, Brittany, I hate that Will is not Brittany's person. And if anything going forward, it will just be forcing it. So yeah. I don't know. I don't watch a lot of these dating, married at first sight women, reality shows. So this is the first one for me. So I'm just giving my honest thought, not because she a Black woman, but because she's a woman, in regards to just her reactions and her expectations from him. All of these women, they have high expectations from a complete stranger, and then they end up getting let down, thinking, hey. So good luck. to those that win, and good luck to those that make it. And geesh, bring on the next episode.
I just need to go ahead and get this finale over with. At some point, though, I did see Brittany just completely shut down. Like, I feel like she was really, really hurt. Like, she really thought that they were going to continue on and really try this. I just hate to see people hurt. Like, and here's my complaint. And here, you know what? Because I feel like I've been so one-sided, girl. If you look at any of these shows, it feel like they always be playing in black women's faces, and it's just ridiculous. Just from the choices that they choose, like the people that they put together, it's just a weird thing. Trust me, once you start looking at more and more of them, you'll start to notice the cycle of it all. It's just a weird thing, and I don't know why it happens so much. I just hate that it happens. But I will say this about Will. Why tell that woman that you was going to say yes when you knew that you weren't going to say yes? Like, I feel like Will known that he wasn't going to say yes for a while now. I feel like Will has known that, this probably not going to work. So why keep saying that? Why keep trying to be the nice guy? Nobody wants a nice guy that's just like, don't be the nice guy just because while you were in her face. Like, don't do that. Like, I didn't like that. You see the way he acted when they were leaving? To me, he was saying goodbye to her. I don't know if you noticed that, but I feel like he was saying goodbye to her. Yeah. But I don't know.
Yeah, he was giving goodbye, but he was also, I mean, he was giving, I'm gonna see you later, but not really. And the only see you later I'm gonna give you is, or you gonna get is when I let you know that I don't ever want to see you ever again.
I don't want to see you again.
So, she gonna find, if Will, I mean, girl, just let Will go. Because at this point, you don't understand Will. Wait, I'll say this. You don't understand Will. Will is afraid of you. Just walk away. Like, walk away happy. Walk away knowing that you tried. And guess what? Your exposure to the world, you're a beautiful woman. You got your stuff together. So somebody, after Will is gone, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a whole bunch of, real men out there, look either in the DMs or, oh, I saw you on. Well, let me take you. Let me do it. It might be, she may find her person after the fact. This show may just be the gateway to her finding her person. But Will is not the one. Sorry.
Or the two, or the three, or the four, or the five.
Fix it. Okay.
6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Sorry to these people. Okay. But I think they're both gorgeous people, and I think they're both their persons are both out there somewhere. And I really do hope that they find what they're looking for. As a matter of fact, each and every one of these couples, I hope that they find each one and every one of these people. I hope they find the person that is meant for them, because I just don't think any of them, besides Megan and Derek, who I am still highly on the fence about, just this pregnancy just throws a loop into things for me. Like, I think if you take that away, I really don't know. I put them in the same category with everybody else. So at this point, I just wish everybody the best, and I hope that they find what they're looking for. I can't wait to see this finale so that we can go ahead and get on to this reunion, because, finale reunion, because the reunion is where things happen, and I'm ready to get there. Okay.
Right.
Need to know what y'all going to say. And I need to see if Will is going to actually use his words. Girl, I feel like Will is going to come back and try to use his words. And that's what's going to be interesting to me.
Yeah, he definitely needs to. He definitely needs to. But again, he tried, and she had him shook. I don't know if his mama abused him. I don't know if somebody abused him. The way he was scared to really, really speak up, because she snapped. Like, she went from this sweet, kind woman to snapping and getting in her feelings because he wasn't trying to have no unprotected sex with her. Like, why are you? I mean, I know it was a lot that went into that, but yeah, all of them. I'm praying for all of them. I'm praying they find their people, their person. But yeah, I'm again, like EJ, I'm ready for the reunion, and I'm ready for this final episode. I'm ready to see, who actually stays together and who goes away, and what have they done after this whole situation. What opportunities have come about for them after this whole situation?
Girl, yes. Anyway, listen, y'all. That's all I got. That's all I got. These people that ran me raggedy. Shout out to Peacock because Peacock said, "Damn it, we is not gonna do this for no 18 weeks because I don't think I could have dealt with Brittany and Will for 18 weeks, or Megan and Derek, or Chad and Belinda, or definitely not Rhonda and Pat." So I am very, very glad that Peacock said, "Let's speed this up and get this mess on over with." Because, girl, 18 weeks.
Yeah,
Would have been a long time.
that's a lot.
A long time to have it play out the way that it's playing out. They would have played in our faces for 18 long weeks.
Yeah,
girl, I've been
I
out
might
here
have to
cussing
tap
people out.
I might have to tap out. Catch me up, and we'll come back on episode 25 or something, whatever, however, 17 or something. That's crazy.
Girl, you and me both be like, listen, we'll catch y'all. We gonna look at we gonna see what happened at the end, and we'll let y'all know. We'll come back and talk about it. But
Right.
no, this has been fun. This has definitely been interesting. So yeah, let us know in the comments, y'all, what y'all think about the couples. Who do y'all think is gonna stay together? Who do y'all think is not gonna stay together? What do y'all think about? I mean, each couple. Like, give us your little synopsis of it. I mean, honestly. Do you think that Megan would have stayed? Do you think Megan and Derek would actually continue on if there wasn't this pregnancy thing situation? Or do you think that would be a wrap too? Do you even think they're going to make it? Like Will and Brittany, like give us your thoughts on them. Clearly, I think a lot of people have a lot to say about that particular couple. Rhonda and Pat just wasn't going to work. Chad and Belinda, let us know your thoughts about Chad and Belinda because we thought they was going to make it to the 9th hour, but don't look like it, So there's that. Jalen and Josh. Is Burning Man really that big of a freaking deal to, like, geez Louise, like, please let me know what y'all think. I need to know. But anyway, y'all, we're about to get up out of here. As far as our channel is concerned, please make sure that you guys have your notifications turned on. We have a lot of things going on over here on Talk That Talk. We will be talking about the Talamasca as well as the second part of it on tomorrow. So please come hang out with us for that. On Wednesday, we'll be talking about Friends and Lovers with a panel. And then we'll be talking about All's Fair on Thursday, Power on Friday. And and next week we'll drop another reaction video. So guys, please stay tuned. We have a lot of things going on and we're really excited about the channel. And we thank you guys for, hanging out with us and subscribing. If you're subscribed to the channel, if you're not, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you don't have your notifications turned on, please turn on your notifications and do all the things. Again, we appreciate each and every one of you. Shout out to everybody in the chat that came through. If you're watching this on the replay, please make sure to type in #replay squad and let us know that you came through, and we will talk to you later. Peace.
Talk that. Talk that. Talk that.